Shalom, family. Somebody asked the other day on the channel, Pastor, would you please do a video on the full armor of God? And what I've decided to do, and I am speaking with some other watchmen, that we break this up into its bare components and discuss each one a bit more in depth, because to gloss over them briefly is not doing it any justice or helping you in any way. And the full armor of God is absolutely such an important topic in a time of spiritual warfare that we're living in. So I want to start with Ephesians chapter 6, and we will read verse 10 to 14. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts of wickedness in the heavenly places. Therefore, take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Then before I continue by verse 14, let me point something out here to you. Verse 11, put on the whole armor of God, that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. Then they specify who we're fighting against. And verse 13, again, take up the whole armor of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. You need the whole armor. You can't cherry pick pieces, which is why we're going to cover this one so in-depthly. You need every piece of armor. Each one is essential to you being able to stand against principalities, powers, rulers of darkness, spiritual hosts of wickedness in heavenly places. All that evil wishes to bring against you, you shall be able to stand. Verse 14, stand therefore, having girded your waist with truth, and having put on the breastplate of righteousness. So the pieces described begins with girding your waist with truth. Truth is number one. Truth is where it begins. Now, if we go to when they go to Jesus, the disciples, and they say, tell us about the end times and what must come and what lies ahead, Jesus begins telling them everything that's coming by saying, take heed that no one deceives you. Deception, lies, manipulation will be part of the initial attack that will saturate mankind. What have you got to stand against that? The belt of truth. The passage begins with the admonition of the Apostle Paul to be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his might, not our might. This is the key to understanding the armor of God. He is our strength. For when we are weak, then he is strong. The first piece of armor Paul mentions is the belt of truth. He's looking at the soldier he's either chained to or the one who is guarding him. The Romans were masters of battle in their day, and they used the armor of the soldier to describe the weapons of our spiritual warfare. Each of these pieces of armor show the power of the character traits Paul is highlighting for this battle that lies ahead. The belt of the Roman soldier held together all the other pieces of armor. Truth is the essential character trait that holds all of it together. It begins with truth. Stand therefore, having fastened on the belt of truth. The truth exposes lies. Truth exposes the enemy. Jesus rightfully called him the father of lies. John 8, verse 44. No truth comes from our enemy. Truth brings good news. between our testimony and the proclamation of the good news that Jesus, the true light that comes from God, has come into the darkness, and the darkness cannot overcome him, John 1 verse 5, breaks the chains of the enemy's grips on others around us. Truth brings freedom. Paul tells us Jesus set us free. That was his purpose in going to the cross, Galatians 5 verse 1. Jesus says that he whom the Son sets free is free indeed, John 8:36. We live knowing this truth. The truth is God's standard. When God speaks, everything he says is truth. His Spirit speaks the truth. We can trust God because of his truth. We know what he says is reality. He created the world, and everything in it responds to his truth. And then most importantly, the truth is found in Jesus. He calls himself the way, the truth, and the life. John 14 verse 6. No one experiences reality the way God has designed it except through Jesus, the truth. The belt of truth connects us in our relationship with the truth, Jesus. And when we share Jesus with people in this world, we introduce them to ultimate truth. Jesus reveals all truth to those who seek him, because they are seeking truth. The belt of truth surrounds us, protects us from deception and lies of the devil. It also gives us a way to show the people in this world, surrounded by darkness and the devil's lies, that Jesus tells the truth. Without truth, we cannot properly understand our world. We see it in the wrong way. Our perceptions are off. Our compass is broken. We're confused, and deception creeps in, which is why Jesus warned, take heed that no one deceives you. No matter the wording, we are actively to lay hold of truth and use it constantly. When he says, take heed that no one deceives you, and that you should hold on to truth. How do you take heed that no one deceives you? By staying in the truth, by staying in Jesus, by working in relationship with God and seeking a deeper, closer intimacy with him. The truth. And that truth is the truth that we use to test everything else, because all around us is deception, confusion, lies, everything from darkness, which cannot stand in the light of the truth. So make sure you begin with truth, the first part of the armor of God. God bless and shalom.